I have a lot of opinions about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but none that are so crazy that warrants their own videos. So I'm just going to use this as a little dump of all my miscellaneous Ninja Turtles opinions. Hot or cold takes are included here. Okay, number one, there is simply no need for them to be turtles. Oh my god, in I think almost every single piece of media, the fact that they're turtles means absolutely nothing to the plot. Short of serving as a justification for why they have to live in the sewers and why humans would be freaked out by them. But otherwise, they don't get inherently more biological advantages from them being mutated turtles. I think the only instance I ever saw of this was in The Last Ronin, when he was confirmed to have, advanced healing or whatever. Number two, so Venus de Milo is the first, and I think only female Ninja Turtle we've ever seen. I think there was one with, a yellow bandana, but I can't remember her name for the life of me. But I always find Venus de Milo, or I guess the notion of a female turtle, to be infinitely fascinating, because, the justification is almost always for mating purposes, which is crazy for the Ninja Turtles, right? You would need to watch Ninja Turtles and be like, man, you know what? How are they gonna reproduce? Why is that the conclusion you're coming out of to? They're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why is that your priority? And also, if they had any offspring, right? If there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bloodline, right? Would they keep in theme of Splinter's naming scheme for all the offspring? Would they call their child or their great grandchild Picasso or something? Keep the artist train going just down every iteration of art periods. And this is gonna be the last one, but I find it so funny that as time goes on, Baxter Stockman has to be portrayed more evil, or I guess more irredeemable, to justify all the crazy shit Shredder does to him. In the 2003 series, Shredder keeps punishing Baxter by taking more and more parts of his body for every failure, to the point where he just ends up as a brain in a jar, and it's why? I think 2012 TMNT sort of reset the clock a little bit, back to where the 1980s Turtles did it, and they just had the punishment be him turning into a fly, which is fine. But even still, Baxter's still such an asshole that by the end, where he gets the retro mutagen and turns back human, he just complains about it. He's like, oh, I preferred being a fly, how could you do this to me, I'll hate you forever. And it's bro, shut the fuck up. In a fun way. Baxter is one of the funnier mainstay turtle characters. The first kind of video I've done like this. So let me know if you want a part two. This was more fun than I thought. Follow. Part 2? Absolutely. So here are more miscellaneous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opinions that I have, but don't necessarily warrant their own videos on their own. Number 1. Donatello's intelligence seems to be getting out of hand with each and every new iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that at some point, I just think it's ridiculous now. I can fully buy into Donatello being smart and resourceful enough to build a blimp or a car or something crazy like that. At some point, he just starts using alien tech pretty casually to make his own inventions. He made his own AI turtle bot from scratch, just as a side project. I don't even want to get into Rise Donnie. It's always cool, right? The inventions are sick, but it is crazy how out of hand some of these get. I wouldn't be surprised if Donatello was unironically one of the smartest characters in all of fiction at this point. Alright, number 2. This isn't a new take, but I find the April Donnie ship from the TMNT 2012 series to be particularly odd, because I don't get the motivation behind it. It didn't need to serve a purpose in the story, because the rest of the turtles didn't feel that way about her and they still showed up to save her, so you can't even make an argument for it being a bigger driver. And it felt okay, the show knows how weird this is, right, because they've addressed it a lot of times through a lot of different characters. And the craziest thing to me is that when April was revealed to be half mutant or whatever, there was a part of me that wondered if maybe it was a way to get around, her and Donnie ending up together, and it made for a very uncomfortable experience until, we got confirmation that it was really not happening, but it was still, a very stressful watch period. And the last thing I want to say is I really love the Krang as villains, because it feels like they're the only reason a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles canon or universe is even able to exist outside of just defeating Shredder, because you'll find a lot of these Ninja Turtle stories begin and end with Shredder's defeat, and I just think that's thinking too small, right? The Krang really opened up what's possible with the TMNT canon, and I just appreciate these pink brainy little things. Follow me.